Welcome to your Saturn return report. This is the Peace Dealer, and I hope that you gain the utmost of quality from this report. Thank you so very much for your patience. It really does mean a whole lot. And this hits home. You are 1990 gang. Oh, one moment. The Queen is in the building. I want to actually put a short here. See, we got Osiris here, 26, and Isis, 3 degrees Aries, which trines your moon. And we have Juno. I knew Juno was significant. We have Juno, the Queen Ruler, on your sun and MC. So, yeah, I'm definitely highly excited to do this. We got Lucifer right near your DC2. But yeah, I'm very excited to do this. This is near and dear to my heart. You're 1990 gang. 1990 is the greatest year ever. What corroborates this is that 1990 and late 89 and early 91 is the only year to have Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus in Capricorn. It will never happen again. That's the height of psychic power. The extra dimensional quality of Uranus and Neptune that sponsor and represent the causal and astral realm, respectively, are bolstered by Saturn that now allows manipulation of this into the material realm because of its representation and rulership in Capricorn. So you having Mercury there, where you can now, harness all of this jargon with your mind, this is telekinesis. Okay? And you are not a slouch. You are the Queen Ruler. Okay? You're like, go. You are your higher self. You're literally on your MC. You're like, I'm gonna consult the Peace Dealer because he's gonna let me know what Saturn power is returning for me. Because you're not just anyone's. Your Saturn return is literally on your destiny. Okay, you didn't come to just anybody. You came to the Peace Dealer, so I honor that. Thank you very much. Once again, this is near and dear to my heart. Jupiter's in exaltation in Cancer, and that's really only a feature of like late 89 and some of 1990, but you have it with your moon on Leo. And as a Aqua rising, personally, that's even better. But we want to just establish that your Saturn return is the hottest, most incredible ish since of all time. It's the greatest of all time. Okay, no one may ever know. Like we want to really be this is why this is near and dear to my heart. I want to use myself as a reference because you see what I do. And as a Taurus rising, we're definitely kin here. And Aquarius is my MC. It's where my North Node is. Your North Node is in Capricorn. So, because as a Taurus rising, Saturn is my 9th house, my karmic work has a lot to do with teaching and discovering the teaching and discovering could be analogous to like a school. Saturn has kind of taught me that. Obviously, it's connected to my 10th house, which is an Aquarius, so I'm teaching about astrology. Yours being in the 12th house is on a completely whole nother level. Transcendent beyond anything else that exists. Okay? Seriously. Which will be one thing. Saturn in the 12th is difficult, by the way, because as an Aquarius rising and a Pisces rising, y'all have to wait for the collective as a Sag, Cap, Aqua, and Pisces are collective vibrations, but y'all have to wait for the collective. You have to wait for these outer planets to clear for a lot of your purpose to activate. Otherwise, it's like, and this is it's the blessing and the curse. Like, y'all are so advanced. So to other people, it's going to look like you're not doing anything, but the universe isn't trying. The delay for you is like, you come out with the remote control that revolutionizes televisions. You're a billionaire. That's an example. Yours is even more greater than this, right? But as an Aquarius rising, you're in an era where there's no TVs. So it's like, you guys haven't even invented the television yet. And it's like, that might not be the best example. And it doesn't have to be that disadvantage for you. In fact, coming into 2021, once Saturn and Jupiter activate this for you in your in your rising, this is going to at least start, a 12-year cycle and a 28, 30-year cycle. But let's get to your return, because the North Node is here. All the most incredible part of your energy is here. So it's very important to establish that your Saturn and your Saturn return, which we can say our Saturn return, but your Saturn return is the greatest of all time. There will never be ever a greater Saturn return. Now, granted, the children being born now, 2020, they have Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter in Capricorn. See, I can hear them laughing down. They're super duper psychic. That Saturn return is incredible beyond belief. But I don't really think they should count. I don't think that's fair. I don't think they should count. I think we count. Okay? We've been through the trenches, Demitrice. Remember we were young enough to experience corded phones. And then we had cordless phones, but we were still young enough to experience cassette tapes. Like, we saw it all. We saw the transition from corded phones to video conferencings on Zoom. So, like, that is super significant. And it's not like, that's why I say I don't think they count. Yeah, their Saturn returns are going to be great, but they are born with, like, everything. All the people born in 2020, like, they can have Uber chauffeur them when they're like 2, 3, They can have Postmates. They're already young royalty. We didn't have no Uber growing up. We didn't have no Postmates. We had to go to the grocery store with our parents. Okay, like, you know, like, you need to really embrace. So, like, Saturn and Aqua and Saturn and Pisces can give you a run for their money, but, like, don't let anybody play you. Like, you have the greatest Saturn return of all time, okay? And, like, you are destined to. So, I want you to think of the 12th house nature of this, because it's definitively 12th house. I want you to think of the 12th house nature of this as an Aquarius rising, especially with Osiris here, more so like an alien goddess would, where she can't reveal her full power to the world, so it's hidden. That kind of sounds a little dramatic too. And that alien goddess could be Isis, the queen. But once again, like, regardless of the house of this, we want to look into the context as well of the Saturn return for us in general. This is the last Saturn in Capricorn, I believe, was in 71, and then before that, like 59. Not 71. I think the last one before this was like 59. No. 89. Well, definitely around the 50s. The reason why I say is the triple conjunction that you have here in the 12th especially represents a whole lot of latent power that has inhibited you. The opposition isn't exact, but the presence to the moon, thankfully Jupiter does cushion it. The presence to the moon may not have been easy to have been explained growing up, especially with all the conditioning. Thankfully, you're the literal like creator goddess, straight from source. I mean, you have the king of gods and the light bearer, the king of light, in Leo. So you have the Queen Venus and Juno on the MC. You're here to herald light. This is what I really feel like the 12th house nature of this. Of course, the first 30 years of this may be hell a bit because like it's just being misunderstood, especially people not understanding like what you work for or your aims. Saturn in the 12th to me could be like someone who rejects notions of capitalism or socialism or economy. Now, if we put this in context, that's because, as the, celestial alien creator goddess, you're here to completely establish a new order and transcend the current system. This personally is our Saturn and North Node, mission. I'm North Node Aquarius, you're North Node Capricorn. So we were on the same plane, and I got off on the North Node Aquarius stop, and you stayed on to get off on the North Node Capricorn stop. Before Saturn went into Aquarius and a new plane came on, which is so amazing. The North Node Capricorn literally means you're destined for greatness, and your Saturn return is legendary. The reason why it's legendary is because this is transcendent power. This transcendent power is now unlocking with the South Node that already tore through here. Now that you're of age, and you'll see as the South Node goes over your Sun, you unlock more of this awareness. Sagittarius Sun superpowers is anywhere from clairvoyance to cosmic awareness and light bending. This is even more evident with your Leo moon. But we want to establish that now that your Saturn is returning, your power is returning. And the ruler of your chart is conjunct lightly Saturn. So if we look at Saturn here, September 28th, Pluto's retrograde, its reign of terror, is going to end as Saturn goes direct at the end of September. Pluto's going to retrograde on your Saturn, okay? It's retrograding on my Saturn right now. It's a little bit of hell. It's kind of crazy. But it's phenomenal beyond belief, because after this, Jupiter's gonna go over, and you want to think of your Saturn return as completed. You finished the exam, okay? But Saturn's still gonna go direct over your North Node. So we're gonna see through October this tour. Obviously Pluto starts to go direct. The fact that it goes direct on your Saturn makes this Saturn return even more legendary. 2020 is a beta test year, mind you. So October is really just, getting the groove off after the station. Boom. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Stop playing. Oh my God. Stop playing. Stop playing with me. We have a Jupiter Pluto conjunction, my friend, on your Saturn. While we're getting to the North Node on your Saturn, Demitrice. So this is just phenomenal. This is just phenomenal. This is just phenomenal. Oh my goodness. What are the odds? You'd have to be the luckiest person alive. Oh, of course, you'd be Sagittarius. Once again, what are the odds though? What are the odds that the ruling planet of Sag, Jupiter, would be the exact trine you have to your Sun? Amazing. So okay, mind you, this is all gonna also be conjuncting the North Node in Gemini. So before I go deeper, let's go in more, because by the 30th, baboomski, we have Saturn on your North Node. Bam. Want to track Saturn here because the North Node here is the establishment of your destiny. Even if it's just a seed, these are just conjunctions. So even if it's just a seed, even if it's the day that you quit smoking cigarettes for the rest of your life, decisions like that, it's really set to set things in order. It's just the troubling difficulty of the 12th house puts a halt to things. Most people during 12th house Saturn transits notice that they don't have any more work coming in. They don't necessarily, it's not like, oh, I don't like this job that I'm working. It's like, oh shit, like I don't think I can work. Like I don't think I have any hours, or I don't think I'm doing my own business the way I want to do it anymore. And the reason for that is Saturn is reconstructing. Saturn's like putting it to wraps. 12th house is the end. But you have this natally, 12th house transcends. So you've been there, done that. And now, if we put this into context, Sagittarius Sun, you're the creator goddess. So this is now you coming of age, my friend. This is us coming of age. You have the triple conjunction here. So this is establishing these superpowers. This is you transcending it, I believe, right? And you're transcending the need to even work, right? And so it's my theory that when you have North Node in the 12th, you don't have any karma. You don't have any karma in this world. You lend it to other people. You lend it to the less fortunate. And this is what you're going to help other people do too. It's like, you know what? I don't even need to work to make a living. And now I want to dedicate my superpowers to make sure other people don't even have to work to make a living. But I feel like a lot of your concepts are too radical for people. And you wanted to do this before, but it was hard to get support because you're ahead of your time. But really, it wasn't meant to unlock it literally until like now. Well, and when I say now, I really mean like around the November period, but also literally right now because it's retrograding right now too, and it's been happening. So if we look forward, we're gonna. Yeah, this is going to retrograde. By the time we get into December, Jupiter catches up, and Jupiter is going to conjunct your North Node December. We have the new moon. By the way, that new moon transit that we have in your sign is you establishing, closing out career direction and establishing, because the essential and crucial part of your Saturn return 2020 is that it's a part of a release and ending period. It's all Jupiter and Saturn in the 12th. And what are you ending? Sagittariuses are ending being mortal. Y'all are gods and goddesses. Y'all are the creators. So you're ending, but it's even deeper than that. For us born 1990, especially for you, especially this power unlocking, your power's returned. Saturn represents a car that, you know, once you get the return, you're licensed to drive it. So now you're responsible for what happens to it. But until then, it chauffeured you. So now your power is returned. Now you can actually use your power to your max. It's just a little bit different because, like, you were already born gifted in this capacity. But now this is really where things, you know, come to a downhill exploration instead of the struggle of the uphill. This is important because everything that you go through this year is revisiting every chapter, but to close out, to let go, to release. Once we step into 2021, this stage of your Saturn return activates further. In the Vedic, Saturn return, for an example, is Saturn Cap will be Saturn in Sag, Saturn in Cap, and then Saturn in Aquarius. But this stage moves by the time we reach to the end of December, boom, into Aquarius. And then, you know, it moves forward from there. So the reason why this is very, the reason why this is very, very, very important, my friend. We represent a very pivotal shift in human consciousness where we utilize this psychic awakening, sponsored heavily by Pluto and Scorpio too, to shake and shift the world. You have a lot of responsibility, and this is unconsciously going to activate in a lot of ways. In the movie Domino, in the movie Deadpool, your power is like the power of domino. It's unconscious. You don't necessarily have to like activate it. It just happens. You're very lucky. You have Jupiter trine your sun. And like, it's not very common to see, I wouldn't say it's very common to see your MC in the 11th like yours is. So you're definitely meant to be a community leader. But we want to establish, especially with the conjunction that Pluto and Jupiter here, Pluto retrograding on it and going direct is awakening. It's judgment in the tarot. It's awakening and unlocking your power, your superpower. And then Jupiter is evolving it. And then they unlock your destiny. Boom. Very, very honored to be able to do this with and for you. And I hope you enjoyed this report. This is even more crucial because by now you're progressed 23 degrees. You're progressed 13 degrees Capricorn, which is on Neptune, which is ascension. At will, you can ascend. You're activating a transcendence mechanism at will that is just very amazing. So stepping into next week, stepping into next year, truly, next week is the aftermath of the new moon, which, the new moon is literally on your Mars. But stepping into next year, that's going to really activate the awareness of your identity. This is who I am. But this year is all about beta testing these superpowers. This coming of age. This is who I'm not. It's like now that you can do things you couldn't do before, you're releasing what you don't need. And then bam, 2021. This is who I am now that I've released everything. So yeah, would really love feedback. I hope this was accurate, because the 12th house is pretty difficult to speak on. It's very personal. And it looks like a lot of your karmic work is going to be really helping the less fortunate, helping those who really are down on their luck, especially when it comes to like the law and not being legally represented. You would think that would be Libra, and we do have 9th house Libra, but Saturn here is just Capricorn. I also get like a Doctor Strange element, like things that people can't really go to other people for, they go to you. Holistic medicine too, because Chiron here and Cancer is on the South Node, so this key is gonna unlock with this opposition. You stay blessed as always. And until next time, peace.